Boogie. I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly.
Chat, do we want 1.25 speed on this shit?
I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes.
Yo, chat, listen. If you guys keep talking about how I almost made you guys cry or I made you guys cry, yo, I will cut my penis off, okay? I will slice it up into little pieces, and I will bleed out, dude.
Dan, how are you?
I'm okay. I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last 2 nights.
I'm really glad you're here because I believe this is important.
For sure.
We've got a lot of things to unpack.
We're going to bottom third.
But before I dive into my...
Oh, trigger warning for sexual assault mentions. And mentions if y'all aren't familiar. Yes. Did you see the doc? It's really eye-opening about this motherfucker. No, I'm not yet. Should I watch it?
List of topics that I'd like to discuss. Is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me
Yo, Kobe, don't gaslight yourself. I was being a dick.
facing my past behaviors.
Trigger warning, Dan. I gotta say, he is a shitty guy, but the way he looks now shocked me.
Some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to...
Dude, look at the fucking rat on this guy's face, bro. Look at the rat on this guy's face. Oh, during the stream? Oh. Also, damn, please cut the beard. It doesn't use no flavors. Jumps in, damn. Dude, what happened to what happened to the sausages? Why was he sausaging people? Huh? Was he massaging the actors? Always had a woman giving massages. Why can I not say massages? God fucking damn it!
Anybody that I ever put in that situation, and even...
Yo, do we think the carpets match the drapes, though, chat? Do we think the carpets match the drapes?
Additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe...
Was this motherfucker butt-ass naked getting massages on set? What the fuck?
...them an apology as well.
Yeah. Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw...
Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. And why the fuck were you guys always trying to get everyone to show their fucking little toes? Huh? Why are you trying to get everyone to show their piggies? Huh? Tell me about that. Cam! My day was amazing, bro. How are you?
Not cool.
No, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses.
Holy shit, this dude must have done something really bad. But I would just like to say he is better than almost any Minecraft YouTuber at apologizing other than maybe Puns. I think Puns is the only one that did a good apology. This guy's way better than all of them. Too heavy for me? Have a great... Yo, Pips, appreciate you, homie. Sleep well. Have an amazing day tomorrow, okay? I'm okay, man. I'm at work watching you. Yo, my man. My man. Not cool. Yeah, no shit, dude. Dude, I gotta watch the whole documentary. Poor Drake, he was getting assaulted by the dad from Drake and Josh. What? Jeanette McCurdy, whole story was just amplified by this piece of shit. Then if I show you my feet right now, will it affect this interview? Because if so, it's straight to jail, Dan. Yo.
TV writers, comedy writers have been in writers' rooms, and they are aware that a lot of times there are inappropriate jokes made and inappropriate topics come up. But the fact that I participated in that, especially when I was leading the room, it embarrasses me. I shouldn't have done it. And I can tell you why it hurts really bad for me.
Dude went to prison for only 16 months, then got hired on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. What? Bro sounds like he is saying everything from what he knows we want to hear. Yeah, he's media trained. Almost definitely this dude is fucking media trained, and that's why he's doing it that way.
I remember very clearly my early experiences, my first experiences in the entertainment business. I was green, I was scared, I was excited. It meant the world to me that I was getting those opportunities. And I went in and I got lucky because they were great. My first couple of experiences were fantastic. And the fact that And the fact that I didn't pay that forward to every employee that walked
God damn, yo, we gotta do a. Yo, where's this documentary at? Netflix?
through my door, it hurts my heart because I should have, and I wish I could go back and fix that. In the writers' room, there's no doubt that sometimes those jokes went beyond the pale, and I said things that went too far, or made practical jokes that went too far. And
This is a crazy take. I think we need to bring back public executions. Okay, cool. Glad we could talk about this.
that was wrong, and that was because I was an inexperienced producer. I was immature. Wouldn't happen today, but I'm just really sorry
Chat, everyone that's been chilling here, what number react is this? Is this 4 or 3?
it happened.
Yeah. Now, we know you've had a lot of success over 2 decades. Thousands of people have worked with you, for you.
Okay.
Let's speak directly to the people who did not have a good experience with you.
Okay, I would like to speak to those people because I hate that anybody worked for me and didn't have a good time.
I think we're on 3 right now.
You know me. You've been on my sets. Look, I've had some employees that have worked for me for 10 years, some more than 20 years, who would work with me again, but not everybody. There's still a significant number that didn't have a great time working for me, so my batting average isn't nearly high enough in that area. And the way they wouldn't get the best of me is that I would let the pressure of doing 40 or even more episodes per year, I would let that pressure get to me, which a good boss should never, ever do.
Was there specific things that you were doing?
Dude does not have ice in his veins. I already know. I'm making jokes right now, but I'm going to look back at this interview after watching the documentary and be like, oh my God, Chris, you fucking piece of shit. So just take that with a grain of salt, okay? Before anybody says anything after I re-upload this, okay? My bad. Or chat, okay? Sorry, gangsters.
Sure, I would snap at people sometimes. I would be snarky when I could have given them a nicer answer.
Oh, it's on YouTube? Okay,
I
bet.
would not give people the time that they needed. I would be in too big a hurry to get on to the next thing I had to do. And watching that show, it made me, there were so many times I wanted to pick up a phone and call some of those people and say, I'm so sorry and let's talk about it. And I wish you'd had a better time and I wish I could have shown you a better experience.
Yeah. Now, you've written hundreds of episodes. Thousands of jokes have been told.
Yeah.
But currently where we are,
Uh-huh.
some people think that some of those jokes are
Oh.
inappropriate
Brian Peck? Oh, shit.
for children. What do you think of that?
Can we get an example?
All these jokes that you're speaking of, that the show covered over the past 2 nights, every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny and only funny.
Feet jokes! Yeah, I need the Vine Boom sound effect so I can hit that shit. The Dark Side of Kids TV, Nickelodeon. Oh, bet. If anybody has a link for like on YouTube for that shit, like send it my way. Put it in watch on stream.
Okay. Now we have some adults looking back at them 20 years later through their lens, and they're looking at them and they're saying, oh, I don't think that's...
Yeah, dude, I remember there being a shit ton of feet jokes in iCarly and shit. I remember watching iCarly all the time whenever I'd play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic when I was younger. Oh, yo, Rayla, by the way, sorry, I just saw it. This is from like 15 minutes ago. Rayla, if you're still hanging here, I appreciate you. 3 stream watch streak. You're a fucking real one.
appropriate for a kid show. And I have no problem with that. If that's how anyone
Damn near every episode? That's fucking insane.
feels, let's cut those jokes out of the show. Just like I would have done 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
There's no way dude got his piggies out during this interview. There's no way.
So I think it's big for you to say with
I need the wide shot again.
your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it.
Yo, yeah, I remember hearing about that. Back in the iCarly day, he went on Twitter and asked people to send feet pics for the show.
Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
The last
For the shoe? Yeah, Josh, what?
thing I want to ever do
Yeah.
is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why
mean,
would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense. I want to give you
Give me the wide shot again. Give me the wide. Oh, the interviewer? The interviewer's trying to get his ass. He's like, yeah, I got these little piggies out. Fine boom sound effect rock fucking eyebrow raise. Want to take a little look? Want to take a little suckle on him?
an opportunity to kind of elaborate
Him and Tarantino would get along great.
on something.
Okay.
The thought process from the series is
Why
you had the power.
why does my bot, sorry, totally off topic. Why does the bot go off at the exact same time? I have it set to different intervals. Why does it do that?
Power to just write a joke, and no matter what, it's going on TV. You just had that type of power. Is that true?
The notion that I had the power to just produce whatever I wanted and have it air is completely false.
Okay.
There were many, many levels of scrutiny. Okay? We had executives in LA.
And I think some would say that's fair, you know, for considering how this all turned out, my boy.
We had executives in New York.
So two coasts.
Two coasts
Okay.
of
Both
approval, yes. And by the way, approval at every stage, really.
Okay.
And I'm talking about wardrobe. I'm talking about makeup, sound, sets, dialogue, jokes, everything.
Now, when you say approval, these obviously that's a hierarchy, not your colleagues or
right.
people in the room. Okay.
No, not my colleagues. No, these are my bosses. Bosses, and then their bosses, and then their bosses. And they're approving all of this stuff.
Okay.
Okay? And we're also shooting it in front of all sorts of adults and caregivers and the set teacher and the families. Everybody's watching it. And if anybody had said anything, hey, we don't like that, that's not appropriate, then it would have been cut out.
Now, I'm gonna push back a little bit
Sure.
because the series painted you in this way
Yeah. Yeah, some higher ups definitely need to be fucking called out here too, for sure.
that you were just the guy that was doing what he wanted, and people were afraid to confront you about things. So say, just humor me, say that was the case. What would have been the ultimate way to...
Okay.
In the BTS vids Dan made, you can see how uncomfortable the actors were. Oh, dude. That's painful.
If nobody on the set, if all of the dozens and dozens of adults that were on the set,
Absolutely. There should be more safety measures for the children actors. Yes, absolutely.
if they didn't say anything, if my bosses said, if they insisted, you got to make a change here, you got to cut that, I had to do it. I had no choice.
Got it. Now this next one, it kind of hit close to home. Being a new father, I wouldn't be opposed to my child being in the entertainment industry. It doesn't matter what age, yeah? Seeing some of those on-air dares, seeing it now from where you are now in your life, what do you think of that?
I think that some of the on-air dares went too far. I think they pushed the envelope too far. Not all of them, not most of
When are we going to cover Gibby's stunt actor literally almost dying? Okay, when are we going to cover that? Whose fault was that?
them, but some did. Nicholas.
The guy who played Gibby said on Critical's podcast that he never got any weird vibes from Dan. Oh? Yeah, dude, this guy would be cooked if this happened today.
Nickelodeon wanted to do their version of Fear Factor. At the time we were shooting All That, so I was tasked with doing these on-air dares with the All That cast. So we get with the writers and we come up with all these ideas, and it's hard to do because we don't have the budget of Fear Factor, and we can't put the kids in dangerous situations like the adults are put in. So it was hard to come up with stuff. But we would come up with all these ideas of dares they could do.
I dare you to fucking whip your little piggies out and wiggle them around in front of the camera, in front of me while I'm manning the camera.
We would give them to the network, and they would say, tell us the ones that were okay.
Right.
Those are the ones we shot. Those are the ones that aired. At the time, I had no indication that any kid ever had a problem with them.
Has he talked about Dan's obsession with Miranda Cosgrove's feet? What?
But when I was watching the show over the past 2 nights, I now know that there were kids who did have problems with the on-air dares. And it breaks my heart. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to any kid who ever had to do a dare or anything that they didn't want to do or weren't comfortable doing. We went out of our way to make sure they were safe and that everything was done properly. But if a kid was scared and didn't want to do it, kids shouldn't have had to do it.
Yeah.
Period, the end.
Right.
And if I had known at the time, I would have changed it on the spot.
Now, we also saw the series highlight 2 former writers' viewers, 2 women, who spoke about a wage discrepancy. Now, I know that you don't divvy out salaries. Talk to me about that part.
Well, you're correct. I have nothing to do with paying writers. I never have. I've never made a writer's deal. And of all the writers I've been in a writer's room with, I never even knew how much most of them were getting paid.
Yeah, but we saw these 2 women who were writers for you sharing one salary. How does that happen?
It's very simple. There's a common practice in television when hiring writers. If you have a spot for a new writer, sometimes you'll go to 2 writers and say, hey, if you 2 new writers for your first job are willing to share a salary, you can both have the job. They have the opportunity to say, yes, that sounds good, or no, no thank
Yeah, Tebow is the interviewer. Yeah, dude.
you. In this case, it was 2 women writers. I've done another show where that teaming was done with 2 male writers, and they split a salary. I did another show where it was a male and a female writer, and they split a salary. So
And these are all first-time writers.
all first-time writers looking for their first gig.
Got it. Now in the series, they also highlighted 2 black actors who said that they felt overlooked. Now I want to be clear. I'm never going to speak on anyone else's journey. Yeah? I can talk about my experience, how my experience was with you, what I saw prior to working with you, but again, I don't want to speak on.
I know that this is not a topic I should be making so many jokes on, but whenever they cut to this wide shot of him listening, he kind of looked like Chum-Li. He kind of looks like Chum-Li when the dude's asking way too much. He's like, yeah, I got this pop can that Elvis Presley drank out of. I like $4,000 for it. And this is just Chum-Li's expression as he's sitting across the fucking counter and going, I can't believe my life has devolved into this. Bro, he's Chum-Li's dad. Why is bro sitting like that, dude? I don't know. Those chairs look comfy as fuck. Yeah, this guy should not be sitting in this comfy of a chair, dude. Yo, get some fucking, get a whoopee cushion, but instead of a whoopee cushion, it's just some fucking nails that get stuck in this guy's ass. How about that? Chun-Li was on iCarly too? Well, no, wait, really? Best I can do is, 2, you gotta understand, I gotta make a profit. I hate to call people out by looks, but he looks like he touches kids. Oh Lord.
To working with you, but again, I don't.
Mod, send the special box to him. Mod, send him the Iron Maiden. I'm not talking the band. The Pawn Stars were on iCarly? What? Should be sitting vertically on a prison bar. He deserves those medieval torture chairs. Yo, what's that torture chair that Cam was talking about, bro? Where it goes up their butt and it's in a triangle? That's what he should be sitting on, bro.
I don't want to speak on anyone's journey. I saw you be honored for diversity in your work.
Yes, and the reason for that is diversity has always been very important to me in my shows. If you go back to the very
Judas Cradle, yeah.
first Nickelodeon show I ever made, that's very evident.
Diversity of people's feet that I'm trying to suckle has been very important to me my entire career.
As it is in the second one, and then the first movie I ever made for Nickelodeon, which starred Keenan and Kel, and every show I did after that had a lead black actor in it. I'm very proud of that.
There's no way he hit the Rock expression here, bro.
A lead
Look at this. Look at this. Look at.
I'm very proud of that. It's very important to me. And not only am I
Wrong one.
proud
Sorry.
that they were in my shows, I'm exceptionally proud of the achievements they've had beyond my shows. And they've gone on to bigger and better.
Yo, holy shit. Oh my God. I need to pray to God for forgiveness for laughing at this. You think bro was suckling on Guppy's feet? Brother. Yeah, I ain't religious, man, but I gotta pray after that one.
Things, and that gives me a great sense of pride.
Well, something that really kind of bothered me was
There's also one story about a plant growing up the person's ass. What?
how they depicted your relationship with the cast.
Yeah, it bothered me too.
Yeah, just me being there, I knew the dynamic was trust. I understood that in situations where they may have had turmoil, whether it be with their families, whether it be other castmates, they came to you. Versus how they made.
Yo, have you guys ever tried sounding with pop rocks? You ever shoved those things up your pee hole? Huh? You ever tried that before?
You look. With that said, Amanda Bynes was brought up in the series, and her Amanda.
What bothers me is the guy who played Ned from Ned's Declassified is treating this like a joke online. Oh, that's not poggers. Here comes the backlash for this one. I don't want to toot my own horn, but the guy who played Chuck replied to my comment on TikTok, so we are pretty much homies. Chuck? I shoved a toothpick up my pee hole once, and I ain't seen it since. That's real. Chris, maybe let's save the sounding talk after Dan the pedo man is gone. You're right, my man.
Emancipation and how you were involved.
Let me back this up a little bit because I was reading chat.
Castmates, they came to you. Versus
Good morning, Link.
how they made you look. With that said, Amanda Bynes was brought up in the series and her emancipation and how you were involved in that. Can you talk to us about it a bit?
Sure. Amanda was between the ages of 16 and 17, and she wanted to get emancipated from her parents, which was a fairly common thing with successful young actors,
What does emancipated mean, chat? Educate my tiny little doo-doo brain.
at least at the time.
Sure.
And she wanted that for herself. So she turned to her team, which included her lawyer, her agent, her manager, her
Does that mean like independency? Does that mean like I don't fuck with these fuckers anymore? They taking my checks, bro. It's almost triggering how he isn't more rude to Dan. Like I just want him to go up and start throwing hands. The fact or process of being set free from legal, social, or political restrictions. Liberation.
publicist, me, because she included me as part of her team, thought of me that way. We supported her. She tried to get emancipated. It ended up not working out. She didn't.
Well, since we're here, let's stay here for a moment. There was also an incident where she had ran away from home, if
Yes.
you would. Can you talk to us a little bit just to clear the air of exactly what happened in that situation?
Yes. One night, it was very late, well after midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning. Phone rang. I answered. It was Amanda. She was upset. She was in distress. She had had some conflict with her parents, I think her father, and she called me. I was immediately concerned about her safety. I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up being taken to the police.
Well, regardless of what some people may think, I think it's only positive that you are there for people when they need you. That said, let's talk about some of the things that have just been swirling forever.
Okay.
You were banned from your set.
Never happened. That is a false rumor.
What happened?
Add it to the list of false rumors.
Talk to me, what happened?
They were adult actresses at the time, and they had their own specific reasons for not wanting to do the show anymore. I'm not judging that. It got tense, and what they don't know, maybe, is I did everything I could to make that show go away. My producer partner at the time, we would call and say, this is not a good situation.
Okay.
So I decided I'm going to do what most showrunners do, which is you're not on the set. There's a director there to shoot it. I'll go up to the writer's room. I'll work on the next script.
Yeah, what show? 2 adults. Would this be Sam and Cat? Or is this a different show?
But
Yeah.
because everybody was so used to me caring
I'm just trying to take this in as somebody that doesn't know what the fuck is going on. I'm kind of looking for chat for guidance here with the, you know.
about every detail of every show so
Yeah.
much, for me not to be on the set, yeah, maybe some people thought I got banned.
So it was more of an assumption because this guy's usually here and now he's not.
I don't know if it was an assumption. I don't know if somebody thought they were making me look bad by saying I got banned from the set. I have no idea.
Okay.
All I
Maybe at some point, Link. Probably not tonight, though, because I am trying to play games.
know is I was never banned from the set.
I'm going to guess the new iCarly, but that's more than 2. The new? Nah, but that's on Paramount, right? That would be totally different. There's no way they let Dan back in on that shit.
The darkest part of this series discussed child predators. Now, I want to make sure that we clear a couple of things up.
Okay?
Brian Peck was not hired by you.
No, I did not hire Brian Peck.
This was a Tolan Robbins production.
Yeah. And when Drake and I talked and he told me what had happened, I was more devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. And I told him, I'm here for you. What do you need? Which Drake mentioned in the show that we watched last night. And next, I heard that he went to court when this guy was being tried, Peck. And when Drake walked in, he saw 50 people sitting on the side of the courtroom supporting Peck. A lot of them pretty famous. Of course, Drake was devastated that that happened. And even more disappointing, 41 of those people wrote letters for Peck, character letters, praising him for who he was.
Sounds like, what's his name? Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis fucking backing up what's his name.
asking for leniency, and they knew that he was guilty. They knew he had confessed to some degree, and they still did this. That's baffling that adults would do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people know this, but Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, Dan, I'm not good with words like you are. And would you help me with my speech for the judge?
Do we think this is genuine or do we think he's playing it up?
And I said, of course. And I did. And he ended up going to prison and serving his time. And yeah, that was probably the darkest part of my career. And here's the kicker that I really don't get. After he got out.
Yeah, dude, yo. I don't know if he doesn't know how, like, real crying works or not, but that's not usually, I don't think you tear up and then literally 10 seconds later you're, like, back to, like, talking
Of prison,
like normal.
And was, to my knowledge, a registered sex offender. He was hired on a Disney Channel show. I don't understand that. I don't understand.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, man. Are you okay? You want to take a minute?
Yeah, I'm all right. Let's keep going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I faked that. I'm good. Let's keep going.
Okay. I think we really unpacked some important things. We set the record straight on a lot of things. Before I let you get out of here, I appreciate the vulnerability that you use in knowing that there's definitely things that you would have and should have done differently. Is there anything that we haven't discussed? Anything that if you could go back and navigate the journey differently, what would that look like?
Yeah, there's definitely things that I would do differently. One,
Spencer is the GOAT, bro. Spencer is the GOAT. I love Spencer.
that I think would be really,
Spencer is so autism coded, and I love it, bro. I think that's why he's the character I relate to the most.
really important is when you're hiring young actors, minors, to work in television, I would suggest that we have a licensed therapist there to oversee that process for the specific reason of
Nah, bro. Somebody needs to be there with a gun to handle people like you. In Minecraft?
making sure that those kids really wanted to do this job, that they really wanted to be on television. Maybe they should even be informed about what that means. What's it going to mean if you're famous? What's that going to mean on social media? What's it going to mean within your family? Let them find out. And then that way, if a kid doesn't want to be on a TV show, they can opt out. That psychologist, that therapist could come to us and say, this kid doesn't want to do it. Or
Ridiculous how he acts like they solved it when the only thing we got from this video is too long script. Or is it too long of a script for Dan. Yeah, dude.
their parents aren't understanding of what's going to come. And then we could avoid the mistake of ever putting a kid in a TV show that didn't want to be there. And additionally, the main thing that I would change is how I treat people.
Yo, side note, they need some fucking better cameras for the set, bro. There's hella grain up in this jacket. Where are they shooting this on? iPhones? What the fuck, man?
People and everyone. I definitely at times didn't give people the best
Can't wait to see fucking Dan on Joe Rogan in about 3 months, bro.
of me. I didn't show enough patience. I could be cocky and definitely overambitious. And sometimes
What's up, Atom? Welcome back, gangsta. Thank you again for the gifties earlier. Appreciate you, dog.
just straight up rude and obnoxious, and I am so sorry that I ever was. And all right, when I watched the show, I could see the hurt in some people's eyes, and it made me feel awful and regretful and sorry. I wish I could go back, especially to those earlier years of my career, and bring the growth and the experience that I have now, and just do a better job, and
Yo, Atom, you're a fucking real one, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words.
never ever feel like it was okay to be an asshole to anyone ever. Look, I wanted to make funny TV shows for kids, and we definitely did that. But if I could go back, I would get it done in different ways. I'd just be nicer as often as possible. and listen more to the people on my team. And I would do everything that I could to make sure that everyone had a good experience. That's what I do differently.
Dan, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
Thank you.
Dude. I would get it done in different ways so you wouldn't find it out. One of his actors was on. Fuck it, dude. We should do that on stream. Carly sits down with Dan Schneider to hear his thoughts. No comments, huh? That's wild, bro. That's wild. That is wild, bro. Yeah, man. I don't really know what else to say. This motherfucker should be behind bars from literally just some of the stuff that I've heard. Just some of the stuff I heard in this fucking interview him reference. He should probably be behind bars. I gotta look into the whole thing. Yeah, man. It is quite unfortunate, bro. This whole situation. Obviously, you feel fucking horrible for the victims. You feel bad for everyone involved, man. Yeah, dude. That's why here in a minute we're going to play some Star Wars Battlefront and forget all about this.